Straight. What's good, everybody? It's your man Big Dom coming live and at you on the True Players Podcast episode, hitting you with the in-your-face, unedited, straight, blunt talk about sports, finances, relationships, current events, and many other topics along the way. Check out my next episode. What's good, everybody? It's man Big Dom coming live and at you on the True Players Podcast episode with my brother JoeyG. Live on Saturday afternoon. We are live, ladies and gentlemen. And we're going to be talking about Wrestlemania 40, night number 2. If you didn't catch the part 1, as we recap night number 1, you should definitely jump on that episode. I got my brother JoeyG with me. JoeyG, introduce yourself to the people.
What's up? This is your man JoeyG from Beer Combo and Family, your co-host on the True Players Podcast and co-host to Talking Random-ish with your man Ricky King. Great to be back talking it up about WrestleMania and amongst other conversations we're going to have later on with the different podcasts we entertain you with. So let's get into the episode, talk about this, because I really enjoyed the second part of this WrestleMania.
Yeah, I totally agree with you. For me, I wish we had Pascal MD on the podcast with us, but she's not able to make it with us. She has a different opinion about which night was better. I thought night 2 was the better version. Okay. And I have to admit, bro, we didn't really talk about Gunther and Sami Zayn's match on the last episode. That's one thing we did forget to talk about.
Really, I wasn't. I think we talked about this off air. I think we talked about it off air. We didn't really get into it as far as the talking to it on the last podcast. I'm not into them. Them two matched up together and going into a match is just like there's no. It's like two big trucks going at it. It does nothing. They're not moving nothing.
Right.
Like they're evenly matched, they're evenly skilled, and they're equally competitive, but there's no one taking over the other to me. Like there's no thrill. There's no real build up for them two for me.
Yeah, me too.
Go ahead.
I felt the build up, the story between them two was too fast. It didn't take too time to really properly generate the interest. I think it was just about them taking the belt off Gunther to put him on a higher trajectory, which would be the World Heavyweight Championship. This is what I thought. That's exactly what I thought it was. It was to take the belt off of him. It was ironically that he had the belt for the amount of days that's the devil's number. You know, that kind of bothered me a little bit. You know, it took him off on that day, but it was kind of ironic they did it that way. But I just felt that they have big plans for Gunther.
Right.
Gunther should have been in the World Championship scene earlier than that.
Maybe they're redeveloping his character or adding to.
I think they're gonna put him on I believe they're gonna put him on a trajectory to become the World Heavyweight Champion. Okay. Because this man was dominant. This guy beat everybody. Yeah. He beat Sheamus. He beat Drew McIntyre. Right. All the big guys who held world.
I don't mean to cut you off. Like Randy Orton Randy Orton first came into the scene as Legend Killer. He had that trajectory. Like, oh shit, what's gonna happen next? That's what I was looking for. Like he was dominating, kind of like Brock Lesnar did, kind of like Goldberg did. Like, God, the match is over already.
And not take away from Gunther. Gunther is a good performer. I would say good performer. He's a great performer in that wrestling ring. He has he seems to have the craft of building a story within the heavy hitting that he does with the chops and all that stuff. Create a story during a match, making you
Right.
feel that you could almost get him, but he always finds a way to win. And
Right.
he has a perfect faction. The Imperium is a perfect faction for him.
Right.
He is undoubtedly, undisputedly the head man, the head of the table of that faction. Unlike the
Right.
Bloodline.
Right. We'll get into that in a second.
Oh, we're gonna get to that. We'll get to that later on, ladies and gentlemen, because we gotta talk about SmackDown from yesterday. So that is a lot of big things that's going on in that faction. Um, but now let's get to the first match of the night, which is Drew McIntyre versus Seth Rollins. Seth Rollins, to me, is the modern day Macho Man Randy Savage, in my opinion.
Yes. Okay.
If you if anybody disagrees with that, please let me know. But I
Right.
thoroughly believe Seth Rollins is the modern day Macho Man Randy Savage.
And please let us know why you feel that way. If you feel like he's wrong in what he says, tell us why, please.
The link is in the link is in the comment section. If you want to jump in on this podcast, feel free to jump on this podcast, ladies and gentlemen. This is I truly believe that. I truly believe that before we get to the match.
Hmm.
Um he has the pomp and circumstance, literally, of the Macho Man Randy Savage. Whether he's a heel or he's a face, he's always gonna get
Right.
cheers.
Right.
He's gonna have a movement behind him.
Right.
And that's why I
Either
say
way,
he's more like Macho Man Randy Savage. Um
and not for nothing, you need that push. You need that push. You need that backing.
mhm,
That's that's how Cody got to where he is right now.
mhm,
That's how Logan Paul got to where he is right now. They got a following of people behind them,
mhm.
whether we like them or not. Okay.
So definitely. So in this match, we got CM Punk as guest commentator. I thought he would have been better served as being a guest referee, but his according as we know before later on that match, his tricep was hurting him. But
Right.
we won't get into that. Let me tell you something. Rollins, we spoke about this before we got in the air.
Hmm.
How injured he was. He wrestled
Right.
2 nights in a row.
Hmm.
The night before, and he has a bad knee. Wrestler
Right.
gave a valiant effort in the match,
Hmm.
took on multiple claymores,
Right.
finishers from Drew McIntyre,
Right.
still kicked out, and finally he gave in. You know what I'm saying? He
Right.
gave in
So he succumbed to it.
exactly, and thus the belt is placed on Drew McIntyre.
Right. It was well
Drew,
for it.
yes.
It was well for it. I'm not a big Drew McIntyre fan, but for watching the match and as much work he's put in, I got to give him his props as far as that's concerned. Seth Rollins, injured or not, he's a competitor,
Hmm.
so he's gonna give you the show.
Hmm.
He's gonna give the fans the show that they need, and he's gonna put as much effort he possibly can on that mat. Uh, so I wasn't disappointed in watching that. I was actually I was content at the end of it. I didn't want to
Hmm.
see Drew McIntyre win. I'm gonna be honest with you, but it
Hmm.
is what it is. It's part of the business. We move on from that one.
So during that match, after Drew McIntyre wins the belt, he's outside with the crowd tweeting on someone's phone. And then instead of savoring your moment as the world champion,
Hmm.
as we were basically looking at the time a
Hmm.
world championship match between him and CM Punk in
Right,
SummerSlam.
right.
CM
Drew,
Punk he taunts CM Punk. Him and CM Punk go at it outside the ring after he had this whole song and dance in the ring, tears in his eyes, holding the belt, finally beating Seth
hmm,
Rollins.
right.
He gets to altercation with CM Punk,
Hmm.
and then boom, guess who we hear? Whose theme is we hear? And let me tell you something, bro. I was in my room. I was yelling, yes, yes, yes. We heard Damian Priest's theme song blow out.
Already knew it. He cashing in.
He ran out that ring. That boy ran down that ring so fast.
Mhm.
He hit Drew McIntyre after Drew McIntyre got hit with the clothesline from CM Punk with the brace
Mhm.
on him.
Right.
This guy Damian Priest hit Drew McIntyre so hard with the briefcase, it almost went into the stands, bro. It almost went to the goddamn
Mhm.
stands. He was trying to
Yeah.
find the briefcase. Yo, I'm cashing in. I'm literally cashing in.
Right.
And as I saw that match, the I forgot the name of his finisher, Highways to Heaven or whatever his finish called for
Right.
Damian Priest. He picked Drew. He picked Drew up so freaking high. I never seen him
Right.
execute that move with that impact ever.
That's like a Razor Ramon.
Yeah.
That's the essence of Razor Ramon, but on a Diesel level,
Mm-hmm.
because Diesel used to put people up there high
Mm-hmm.
and then bring them down to the mat.
And he did it one handed too.
Yeah,
That's the
he did
thing.
it one handed.
He did it one handed, and he choke slammed him and sat down with the choke slam.
Hmm.
1, 2, 3. Lo and behold, we
Uh,
have a new world heavyweight champion.
which
He is
I
the
was
first.
rolling in my seat.
I was celebrating, bros. I was like, yo, that man worked so hard. Damian Priest worked so hard. People don't know the story about Damian Priest. He was
Mhm.
originally a staff hand at the WWE events doing security.
Oh wow.
He elevated himself into a wrestler,
Hmm.
a good wrestler, won the United
Hmm.
States Championship, had a good reign with the United States Championship, worked hard, bust his ass. After so many years, he is now the World Heavyweight Champion. He belongs in that limelight. My only question to you is, before I get into that point, bro, which would make you
Hmm.
happy?
What?
He's the first Boricua since Pedro
Boricua.
Morales
Right.
to win the
He's
World Heavyweight
falling in that
Championship.
line.
First
He's
Puerto
falling in
Rican.
that line. Hmm.
So you know what I'm saying? So, we gotta celebrate for the Puerto Ricans. It was their
Hmm.
day that day when he
Right.
won the championship. Um
Listen, I'm going to tell you like this.
mhm,
Anytime I see somebody of color,
mhm,
period, it doesn't matter. If I see him with a belt, I'm happy for
mhm,
him. That needs to be shown a little bit more in the WWE. We've been talking about this for years, and
mhm,
I'm not straying away from it. First
mhm,
time we seen them get their just due, and I'm happy for that. Like, we need to see more of that. The
mhm.
fans need to see more of that.
Yes.
So maybe the stuff that we see on the inside of the ring carries on the outside in the world, because from what I understand as far as watching the WWE, it does have influence outside of the ring, not only in the ring.
True. And it seemed like everybody was rooting for him. Everybody was rooting for him to
Hmm.
cash in and win that title. It
It
wasn't
was it,
just
it was well earned.
yeah.
He put in his dues. We were waiting for it.
Yes.
The build up, that whole year of build up was like, yo, what are you doing? He should have it right now. When is he gonna cash it in?
True.
He's almost up. Is he gonna cash it in now? Now will be the optimal time. This is the last day.
Yeah, yeah, he was running out of time. Let's be
Yeah.
real. He was running out of time and cashing that money in the bank.
It was either
So
do it at WrestleMania or you're gonna do it on a Raw or SmackDown.
true. I'm trying to find some clips, bro, on YouTube about the congratulations he got from some big stars.
Hmm.
Some big stars. I wish I had those ready for you. But he was celebrating with the Judgement family. Finn Balor, JD McDonough,
Hmm.
Dirty Dom, and of course
Right.
that beautiful queen, Rhea Ripley. Oh man.
Ripley. Yeah.
Oh yeah, yeah, yeah. They got four queens in WWE, yo. Rhea Ripley, Bianca Belair, Jade Cargill,
Hmm.
and who's the fourth one? I forgot the fourth one. I just lost my mind.
Nikki.
Who?
Nikki.
Nika who?
Oh, Naomi. Naomi. I'm sorry.
Naomi, yeah, Naomi.
Naomi.
Yes, yes, the four queens, baby. You know what I'm saying? We replaced the old guard of the four
Hmm.
horsemen, four horsewomen.
Right. Right.
But like I said, my question to you is, bro, and this is a serious question. I would love to interview Triple H on the podcast. I'm thinking I'm gonna
Hmm.
pursue that too. How are they gonna treat Damian Priest as a World Heavyweight Champion as a minority? We have seen this before. We seen Kofi Mania, the
Right.
build to Kofi Mania. He finally gets the belt. Only
Twice.
from no, he won the
Intercontinental.
Intercontinental
Intercontinental.
and
And the
the World
champion.
Championship. Yeah,
Mhm.
only to see him lose it in September to Brock
Right.
Lesnar in 9 seconds, which is disrespectful.
Yeah, and especially for him coming back from the MMA.
Hmm.
If I remember correctly, he came back from MMA. MMA. He didn't put his time in. Oh, I come in now, I get the belt back. That was too soon.
Yeah.
You got to put in the work like everybody else. Everybody else had to do that. Why do you come from that genre back to the WWE and everybody's supposed to be cool with it?
Yeah.
I didn't agree with that.
Hmm.
And to me, when you leave the WWE to pursue whatever you're doing, even if it was acting or whatever the case may be, you don't have a pass to go straight for the title. You don't do
Right.
that.
No.
You don't have that. You have to have the build up, come back like everybody else, go to a WrestleMania, Royal Rumble, go to a Royal Rumble, build up from there.
Hmm.
You have to start at the Royal Rumble at least. And then through the year, you build up
Hmm.
to WrestleMania,
Hmm.
to a main event. At least that's how it was done in the past, and that's what I assume they would do moving forward. But
Right.
we were under Vince rule, so Vince
Hmm.
rule is the way he wanted it,
Right.
the way he wanted it, and he seemed like the logical choice. He was a favorite in the eyes of McMahon.
Hmm. But I do feel, because as we segue from this part, because
Hmm.
I want to make sure they treat Damian Priest right. I want to make sure he gets a lengthy run as world champion. You know what I'm saying? Enough with every 2 months we get a new world heavyweight champion. Let's give him a lengthy championship run like they give Rollins, like they gave Roman Reigns, like they gave even Gunther with the Intercontinental Championship. Rhea Ripley's on that run right now where she's going to have a long reign. Up until the time they decide to do the either Rhea Ripley versus Bianca Belair match, or they decide to do the Rhea Ripley versus Jade Cargill match.
Okay.
Um, this go
Real.
this. Mhm. Sorry to cut you off.
No, no, you good.
I felt
I
the I felt
yeah.
that as we get to before we get to the match with the Bobby Lashley the Street Profits, I felt that Bobby Lashley never really lost the world championship. He got injured. He was legitimately injured in a match in Royal Rumble, which had a concussion. They had to cart him out of the arena,
Hmm.
and they did some move where Brock Lesnar retained the championship. That was
Right.
the time. The match was not supposed to be, in my opinion, the match in that WrestleMania should not have been Roman Reigns versus Brock Lesnar. It should have been Roman Reigns versus Bobby Lashley.
Mhm. Yeah, Bobby Lashley has been passed over, and I feel like he's long overdue. He's
Mm-hmm.
long overdue. Um, I don't know why they don't push him. He has a good fan base.
Mm-hmm.
He has a good fan base. When he's wrestling, everybody's into it. It's
Mm-hmm.
not like you have some wrestlers that's hit and miss. Like
Mm-hmm.
they do a couple moves, it's like, oh, that's a signature, yay! But
Mm-hmm.
it's he engrosses you when
Mm-hmm.
he's wrestling. So it's like, oh shit, what's gonna happen now?
Yeah.
That type of stuff. I love that part of the wrestling business. He gives a good show. He has a background story. It's about that time for him to get to that next tier.
Mm-hmm.
He's on it. Kind of like a Damian Priest. He's put in the work. He's paid the dues.
Mm-hmm.
It's time to move up.
Mm-hmm.
And
So
especially I don't mean to cut you off. Especially now that you don't have Kane, you don't have Big Show, like the big bodies from back in the day. You could say Brock Lesnar. What's his name? Batista. You don't
mm-hmm.
have those big figures where it's like, okay, those are the competition at the time. You could run through most of the people in the WWE right now if you chose to.
Mm-hmm.
If they chose to do that storyline, he could run through those people. I don't
Hmm.
know why they don't push that narrative with the name Almighty. His storyline should emulate that.
Hmm.
It should emulate that. Go ahead.
Absolutely. Now let's get to his match.
Hmm.
Now his new group is called the Pride. Him and Street Profits and bfab versus the Final Testament with karrioncross and was it AVP? Those new guys, AVP, whatever. Some
I don't.
I forgot. I totally
I'm
forgot
not
their
into them
names.
too much.
I mean, the only person that's recognizable, Paul Ellering is their manager. I think that's a good
Yeah.
sync up for them to
Right. Right.
build
Right.
that team up. But yeah, it was a nostalgic. Bubba Ray Dudley
Dud-
was the guest referee.
Dudley. Yeah. Love that.
Philadelphia Street Fight, ECW rules. You had tables, ladders, and chairs in there. Beat
Listen.
the
Can I
some high.
start? Can we start? Can we start at the beginning?
Sure,
Bubba Ray Dudley was the referee.
yeah.
We already knew coming into the ring there was going to be tables involved. At some point, we already knew that.
Hmm.
As fans, as old school fans, we already knew there was going to be tables involved in this match. We
Hmm.
didn't know how they were going to incorporate it, but as a fan looking at it, he's in the ring. Yeah, tables are going to be involved. Now
Hmm.
we move on into the match. He's the guest referee. Match starts. Boom, it goes.
Hmm. Man, listen. The high spots was for me was B Fab doing the Russian leg sweep on that girl onto the table outside the ring, on from the
Hmm.
apron to the outside of the ring. That was a high spot.
Hmm.
I didn't know B Fab had them skills like that. You know what I'm
It's
saying?
it was nice. It looked clean, and for it almost to be a miss, like there
Hmm.
was almost a point where it almost looked like it was a miss and it looked clumsy, but
Hmm.
it was caught so good that from a fan point of view, you wouldn't have noticed. But from a
Yeah.
technical point of view, like we are, because we've been watching a little bit longer,
Hmm.
good catch, good catch, good way to continue it. It looked very clean from where we stood.
Another high point in the match. AVP was outside the ring.
Hmm.
Mind you, we forgot to mention Snoop Dogg was the guest commentator for that match.
Hmm.
We forgot to mention that.
Which was also funny
Yeah.
because Snoop has history in the WWE, so
I just wish he was. Well, I wish he was more instrumental in getting his cousin back in the WWE ring instead of AEW. But that's a whole other story, a whole other podcast for that.
oh,
So
we can't brush over the fact that Little Wayne was a did we do the bloodline? We did the bloodline, right?
the Bloodline was yesterday. Was the last
The
episode.
last one. We talked
Yes.
about Little Wayne.
Yeah, we did. I believe we did. He was out of place, but we're not gonna talk
Yeah.
about that. We can keep it. We
Okay.
keep it about night
I,
two.
okay. I'm just making sure that we put him in there because we did talk about another hip hop star. We were talking about Snoop Dogg, so I just wanted to make sure Little Wayne was given his little credit. What
Hmm.
I mean,
However, Snoop Dogg's fit was much better than Lil Wayne's fit. I'll put it to you like
it
this.
was, and
So,
plus he's been in the ring, so he's a little bit more comfortable with it.
hmm.
He's wrestled in the ring.
Hmm.
People forget that.
But yeah, let me get back to the second high spot of the match. So there was a few high spots in this match, which made
Right.
this match enjoyable.
Hmm.
It was a match. I think Adrian Dawkins had did some move. He was outside getting jumped by the AVP.
Hmm.
Montezford did this flip outside the ring. He was inside the ring, flipped out of the ring. My man almost ended up in the audience. That's
Yes.
how high he flew.
Right.
I was like, damn, this boy got hops. I'm
Right.
like, damn.
I like watching them. And
Yo,
it takes us back in the day to like a Marty and Jannetty, Edge and Christian
I would say more Edge and Christian, Matt Hardy Boys type level.
Hardy Boys, like high flyers.
High flyers, yeah. Kofi Kingston, he was up there. He was up there.
Kofi, yeah, Kofi Kingston proved himself as far as that too.
Yeah,
I
but
wonder why they strayed away from that because
yeah,
he does have hops.
yeah. But the thing about Montez Ford, yo, I'm like, yo, I know that they don't want to separate the Street Profits, But that performance he did in the Elimination Chamber, I think, either not this past year, the year before that, 2 years ago,
Mm-hmm.
this guy is ready to become a singles wrestler, like his
Mm-hmm.
wife. He's ready. You
Mm-hmm.
got to find the right writers. You got to find them the right feud. You got to find a way to
Right.
break up the Street Profits without making them become turn on each other.
Yeah,
But
don't do that. I don't want to see
this
that.
this guy has a lot of talent, wrestling talent, man, and I felt he's is wasting in being a tag team.
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
Some
That's my
people
opinion.
like you said, like we talked about um the truth and the Miz.
Hmm.
We talked about them. Both of them as individual wrestlers,
Hmm.
and we could overlook that, but as a tag team, they were good. So what I'm saying is, there's certain people that are meant for tag team that
Hmm.
you put them in the ring as a tag team, and there's other people that should be just solo characters
Hmm.
in the WWE. It fits this scenario.
Yeah, absolutely. Now, my favorite high spot of the match
Hmm.
was when Bubba Ray Dudley. I call him Bully Ray from his name at TNA. Bully Ray.
Right, right.
Um, he puts on his Dudley Boy's glasses.
Nah, he got slapped.
Yes, yes, he
He got
got slapped.
he got slapped, and then he put on the glasses. Let me see if I see this clearly.
Hmm. Who they do the what's up on?
Huh?
They did the what's up. They what's up, and he jumps in and put his headbutt in between the legs. Was it the AVP guy?
Oh, I don't remember. See, this is the part where my mind goes cloudy, but I do remember the moves. Like the people, I don't remember the moves. Everything that happened, I remember everything like that. I'm
Hmm.
like I said, we're getting back into watching the WWE, so my mind with the
Hmm.
names and everything like that is not crisp. I
It
just know
has.
what I watched.
Mhm. It has to be one of the AVP dudes that they did it to.
Hmm.
And he did that, and they did that move. It was like what's up, and then Bobby Lashley was in the background. I said what's up, and then
Right.
you dropped that
As
headbutt.
as Bubba Ray was directing them without directing them as the special guest referee. Like I'm not telling you to do it, but if you do it like this. It
Oh man,
was
that was good.
hilarious,
That was good. That was the high spot in the match.
and
Like
it
I
was a
said, hmm
good throwback.
hmm
Good throwback because that was a good period of time.
that was a really a good match. That was a really good match.
It was a
I'm
good
looking
match.
forward. I'm looking forward more to their feuds between them and
Yeah.
the final testament. But I just wished, bro,
Hmm.
instead of calling it the Pride, call it back. Call it the Hurt Business again.
Okay.
Call it the Hurt Business again. You have to go back to
Okay.
that. That's what made Bobby Lashley legendary in
Hmm.
WWE was the Hurt Business. Even you got to bring back Shelton Benjamin. I know they released him, but if you bring back Shelton Benjamin to those three guys and
Hmm.
bfab, and eventually you have Bianca Belair there too, eventually, because she's gonna turn that whole faction has to turn heel.
Okay. I'm, I'm not. I'm gonna backtrack. I'm gonna ask you a question because I'm not privy to it. But why did they let go Shelton go?
Budget cuts. It was pre Vince. It was during Vince's last run as CEO.
Oh, okay. That's which from an interview by Ronda Rousey. She did an interview on a podcast. Was saying that there's certain people that are still in the WWE that still have Vince's voice in their ear to push certain narratives. So
Hmm.
it's not fully. She said it's not fully clear, but they need to clean house. Being it
Hmm.
just got bought, hopefully the new owner will start cleaning house. And
Hmm.
Stephanie and Triple H
Hmm.
are key in moving the business forward,
Hmm.
and they're held in high regard as far as the wrestlers are concerned.
And we failed to mention she opened up night two. Stephanie McMahon for back on
Hmm.
television,
Which is
reopening.
she should.
Hmm.
If it wasn't her, then it should have been Shane.
Hmm.
It should have been them. We got to see somebody from from the McMahon family there.
Hmm.
just to represent because it's a part of tradition as far as the WWE is concerned.
Right,
Regardless of the allegations and what's going on with the father and everything like that. Um, no, moving forward, you got to put the business continues, the legacy continues,
right,
the
but
grandfather's the grandfather's legacy continues.
right. But let's get back to the Pride versus Final Testament match. Get to the tail end of it. The one thing, I mean, Bobby Lashley represented throughout that match as always. He's a great wrestler. He should be main event status all the time. There's no reason to bring him back. Don't put him in no United States title vacancy. He should be main event all the time. That's a guy. If you want to give Gunther a good opponent for WrestleMania, it would be with Bobby Lashley.
Yes, I sign up for that.
Mm-hmm. But
I
that's
sign
gonna
up
be
for that.
later on. That's gonna be later on because
But
those guys are gonna be battling for the World Heavyweight title. I guarantee that.
but you got to put Bobby Lashley in a just as invincible status as Gunther.
Yeah.
The buildup has to be that, like this a wrecking ball that's not being stopped.
Mm-hmm.
That's his buildup. And
Right.
Gunther should be the one who'd be like, no, I'm here. And then we see the clash. Boom, moving forward.
Got you. But the one thing I'm disappointed about that match, bro.
Hmm.
You had Bully Ray up in there, Bubba Ray Dudley.
Hmm.
They didn't do the 3D on the table, bro. They didn't do it.
They didn't do it, but there's a lot of things. I'm not mad at it. I'm not mad at it.
I'm mad at it.
We wanted to see it.
I want
We
to see
wanted to see
3D.
it, but now it would have been funny
Mm-hmm.
if if the other Dudley boy came in there somehow, some way, and they just
Devon,
wound up doing it. Devon Dudley, and
that
they wound up doing it.
that would have been a spot that it would have been the crowd go crazy.
Yeah, it would only added two. Why
Mm-hmm.
not? And throw in
So
the testify.
testify. All right, bro. We're gonna talk more about after during later in the podcast. We're gonna talk about where the creative could go now, and I feel
Okay.
that I hate to give my ideas because like
Hmm.
some may take it instead of me being in there giving my creative ideas
Hmm.
or our creative ideas because you know me, bro. You know me. How I can get creative with my pen, and we
Hmm.
created some great matches, great scenarios, and story buildups. But we'll talk about that later in the podcast. Now, let's get on to the next match. LA Knight versus AJ Styles.
Okay.
I I'm not a fan of LA Knight like that, bro. He got good mic skills. He got the crowd behind him,
Yes.
but I'm not a big fan of him though. I felt
You know.
it was a disrespect to AJ Styles to be putting that feud with him. I'm
Yes.
sorry.
I'll give you that. He's not on the same tier. L.A. Knight to me
Mm-hmm.
reminded me of the Miz when I first seen him.
Mm.
Good talker, good crowd stirrer, good heel.
Mm-hmm.
Um, has a little following, cool, but
Mm-hmm.
ring skills,
Mm-hmm.
man, not so much. Not so much. AJ Styles, he's been battle tested.
Mm-hmm.
AJ Styles has been battle tested. He did hold the title at some point, correct?
Held it twice.
Twice. Okay. I do remember seeing him on one of the WWE games. Um,
Mm-hmm. Held it twice.
yeah. So for for that matchup, I wasn't really. It was whatever for me as far as that match was concerned. Like like you said, LA Knight doesn't do it for me. He's not he's not my cup of tea. I would rather watch a Logan Paul match.
And we gotta get to that. We're gonna get to that match next. But I'm gonna put it like this: AJ Styles did the job for what's best, quote unquote, best for business, as
Yeah,
they say. I feel
puts
it
on
was
the
not
show.
best for business. It was not.
No,
It was not an AJ Styles type of match.
no,
I seen a better match on SmackDown with AJ Styles facing Kevin Owens and Rey Mysterio last night on SmackDown.
right. Uh, That's more of his. That's a better tier,
Mm-hmm.
better caliber of wrestlers. They're more experienced. They work well off of each other. They
Mm-hmm.
know what they're gonna do when they get in the ring.
Mm-hmm.
Like they're seasoned to that point. It's not. Put it this way: it's not a TNT wrestler coming from the TNT to the WWE and still doing what they did on TNT
Mm-hmm.
and thinking it's gonna sell in the WWE.
Mm-hmm.
That's my opinion on it. Like you're seasoned enough to be in the WWE, but you still have some work to do to become a WWE superstar,
Mm-hmm.
in my opinion. And that means working on your moves in the ring. Work. You already got the crowd, please. The crowd, the talking points on the mic and everything like that. But I want to see more ring work
True.
to prove yourself. To prove yourself. It's not just about the dominating tone that you have.
Mm-hmm.
Certain moves that you execute, okay, so I can see. But the in betweens, the fillers, we have to work on that, sharpen that.
Mm-hmm.
Selling it. You have to sell it. You have to sell it. And you can't go out of it, sell it for a second, then come back like you just got a power boost within seconds. Nobody in previous WWE history has ever done that.
Mm-hmm. But guess what, bro? As I want to mention, I'm gonna start. I'm gonna skip a little bit forward because we were supposed to recap SmackDown from yesterday as well.
Mhm.
Um, guess what? They're gonna get a rematch this time to for a number one contender for Cody's title.
Okay.
Me personally, I would rather see Cody versus AJ Styles. I think that match will definitely do very well
Hmm.
for Clash at the Castle,
Right.
which I
Eh,
believe is going to be held in, I believe in France or England. One. It's going to be in a European country. Clash at the Castle.
AJ
So
Styles, they got him positioned to be a heel currently, right?
yeah,
Yeah, that would make sense.
well, he's a hybrid. He's really a hybrid
He is, but right now in his current mental capacity, he's heel.
because LA Knight, not because of
Hmm.
anything special, just because of the specter of LA Knight. Um, So now, bro, let's get on to the next match. I believe that's the fourth match, technically.
Right.
Kevin Owens, Randy Orton, Logan Paul for the United States Championship.
Mhm.
Um, I thought it was a good match. It was a good match. I felt that the trio wasn't. You know what it is? You
Ran-
got two main event guys trying to
yes.
propel a guy who's a YouTuber.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? You got two main
He's.
event guys.
I give. I understand why they're doing it, and Logan Paul does bring a lot of fans to the WWE because of his following outside of the WWE universe. I get that part. Yeah, you're bringing business to the WWE, so we're going to promote you because of that. With the prime drink that he has, I get that. You're helping the WWE grow as
Mm-hmm.
far as that's concerned. But as you were saying, and you're correct. A year, you've done a year of work in the WWE, excuse me, WWE. A
Mm-hmm.
year of work. These guys have put in more than 1 year.
Mm-hmm.
Kevin Owens and Randy Orton, their names alone, they're standalone.
Mm-hmm.
They're standalone.
Mm-hmm.
They don't need to be a 2-on-1 for Logan Paul.
Right.
They don't need to do that.
Mm-hmm.
Because if they did do that, you wouldn't even be a factor. So
Mm-hmm.
my question is, I don't understand why they put them three together
Mm-hmm.
and have the two go on to the one because he is the new guy and we got to tune him up real quick. I get that part, but he shouldn't have been a factor the way he was.
Mm-hmm.
He shouldn't have. Randy Orton and Kevin Owens, they're standalone. Like you could have that match to itself, and that would have been a great start.
Mm-hmm.
Go all the way back to January SmackDown. That's where it started.
Mm-hmm.
We knew it was coming. We knew it was coming in January. Like that was a build up, a good build up for
It
that
was
to
it was
happen.
it was a good build up for all three of them. But
Right.
and I'm gonna put it to you like this: we talk about LA Knight compared to Logan Paul. Logan Paul seems a much more better performer in that ring than LA Knight for me.
Okay, so put them two together in a match.
But Logan, you got to go with Logan Paul in that match.
I know, but it would be a better sell.
Okay.
It would be a better sell for them two in the match.
Mm-hmm.
Because in my mind, thinking about it, they're even.
Mm-hmm.
One may have a little bit more technical ability, but
Mm-hmm.
it would be a good match. Because this is
Well,
something you both got to grow from.
got you.
One has to show that he can be the one to carry the match,
Mm-hmm.
and the other one has to follow along and go through the motions. You know what I'm saying? That type of dynamic, like two younger, experienced guys in the ring, but they have to put it on the show for the crowd to make it believable.
Mm-hmm.
That's the challenge for y'all. LA Knight, Logan Paul in a ring together. Make it happen.
Well, Logan Paul has retained his United States Championship, so we probably won't see that just yet. But I get where I see the vision in that where possibly LA Knight dethrones Logan Paul.
Hmm.
That may be the better sell
Hmm.
than giving me possibly put LA Knight against Cody Rhodes.
No, not gonna happen. I don't want to see it
I can
because
see it
Cody.
happen, bro.
You can
The
see it
movement.
happening, but I'm just saying. I'm just
No,
saying, with the caliber of wrestlers that Cody has been in the ring with, don't do that. Don't do that. That's going backwards. That's like coming in with the Brooklyn Brawler. Let me throw him in a match and he gets the championship somehow. What the fuck?
that bro. All intents and purposes, Logan Paul is still United States champion. Give him a
Mm.
good congrats on that. He's a great performer. Let's not take it away from Logan Paul. He's a great performer.
No, but that's the background he comes from, and
Hmm.
I'm not discrediting that. That's the family trademark at this point. Both Logan Paul and his
Jake Paul.
brother Jake Paul.
But let's be honest, bro. We said that it wasn't a good fit with him and Kevin Owens and Randy Orton. After looking back on the match and listening to what we were talking about just before, I said, I'm not still. You know what? That match made sense for the highlight, the big stars, big lights for that type of match. You got two former WWE champions. You got one is who won it 14 times in Randy Orton. And Randy Orton,
Right.
every time it comes to a WrestleMania, a SummerSlam, a Survivor Series, or Royal Rumble, Randy Orton always represents. He always
Right.
represents.
It's part of
You know
it.
what I'm saying? You know what I'm
He's
saying?
part of the history.
Ever since he was a rookie,
Yes.
he represented.
Yeah.
Do you chalk that up for being because he's a third generation wrestler? Yeah,
Okay.
he's been trained in that. He already knows what to do.
Yes.
You know what I'm saying? So on that note, bro, let's get on to the next match, the WWE Women's Championship World Championship match. This match we saw Bayley versus Io Sky, and Io
Hmm.
Sky impressed me throughout this match, bro. And she
Okay.
impressed me. Her performance was excellent. It
Hmm.
was great. It was a great performance on her part, but it just seemed to me that the pendulum was swinging to Bayley's way. This
Yeah.
was Bayley's night to become to regain the WWE Women's Championship. It's her
Which is
second title run.
another Spanish person up in the ranks.
Yes, let me tell you something. A lot of Hispanics representing WrestleMania, man. Night two was the night for Hispanics. You had
Right.
Damian Priest winning, you had Bobby Lashley
Mhm.
winning, and you had
Right.
Bayley winning.
Right.
A lot of people don't know she's Hispanic.
No, but that's part of the mystique. And there's certain Spanish people that just pass.
Yeah. but she did a hell of a job. Shout out to Bayley. Bayley performs very well, even though sometimes her
Mhm.
character, her face, just comes off as dull. But you can't
Mhm.
knock her performance in the ring. You can't knock it. She's not
No,
she's not the
she's a performer and she doesn't look lazy.
no. She may not have that. She not be the supremely hot eye candy as Charlotte Flair or Bianca Belair or Rhea Ripley or Jade Cargill,
Mhm.
Becky. She may not have
Becky
that eye
Lynch.
candy Becky the eye candy appeal. Even
Mhm.
Liv Morgan's a hell of an eye candy though. And
Okay,
um
I
and
can see
um
it.
Tiffy Time, eventually when she gets to that spotlight, she gonna be supreme eye candy. Man,
Okay.
so the snow bunnies over there, man, should make me like, wow. Wait a minute, wait a minute, wait.
I would. I I like the fact that they invested more into the women's division, and we are actually seeing them wrestle more.
hmm
Before they were just props,
hmm
and it was let me strut them around, give the audience some type of visual, sexual look, get
hmm
them in and out. Moving on to the men's matches the way we wanted it designed in the
Right.
beginning, but they've made more emphasis on making the women's division more skillful, more technical, more believable,
hmm
and I'm all for it. Like I'm very impressed how far they've come from diva status to actually wrestlers in the ring,
hmm
where undeniably they put on just as much of a good show as the male counterparts.
True. Definitely, that match was very good. I thought it was gonna be a bad match, but Io Sky gave Bailey a very good dance partner. When you come to
Yes.
wrestling, you got to have a good dance partner in order how to have a great match. And Io Sky impressed me with she was able to be a good dancer with Bailey.
What I did not know was um, watching a interview with Ronda Rousey doing a podcast. She said that the matches are not determined until you are ready to go out there. So there's
hmm
nothing pre-rehearsed
hmm
going into the match. They're pretty much like you said, they're dance partners. So in that, we're gonna have to make this work.
hmm
The narrative, we just know the narrative. We have
hmm
to make that work.
Right.
So unlike a movie where we have everything scripted from beginning to end, we know how it's going to turn out. We have the storyline, we have the fight sequence, and whatever else we edit later.
hmm
With the WWE, it's more like we give you the narrative, you play it out. It's almost like improv,
hmm
being an improv actor. This is a scenario, execute.
hmm
And in them being in the ring, executing whatever they have to do as far as the narrative is concerned, you have to have a partner that's knowledgeable,
hmm
that you can work with in the ring,
hmm
that's not going to step on your toes
Right.
and hurt you in the
Right.
process. So yes, the match didn't look clumsy to me. It looked they both came up looking very well as far as
hmm
the wrestling match was concerned, and I'm gonna have to agree with you. That was a good match.
hmm better than some of the men's match we saw. But now, as we discussed that Bailey has a slew of opponents now.
Yeah.
According to yesterday's SmackDown, Naomi
Mhm.
defeated Tiffany Stratton, becoming the number one
Mhm.
contender for Bailey's title.
Mhm.
Now we're gonna get an opportunity. Bailey was gonna face Naomi for the world title, women's world title. Let's see how that match goes. Naomi's very
Yes.
athletic, very good wrestler. She was a former TNA Knockouts champion. But
Yes.
I don't think, in all retrospect, they're not gonna take that belt off
Okay.
of Bailey so fast. So
No,
I could see him go through a series of matches for that title.
I could see Naomi being a good competitor
hmm
um, for the storyline to continue.
Hmm.
But Bailey right now, she has it. She has it. I would be more inclined to see Jade at some point and Bailey clash for the belt,
Hmm.
um, for entertainment purposes. Naomi, not yet.
Hmm.
Like I love watching them wrestle, but she's not consistent in the ring enough for me, when I'm watching her.
Talking about Jada or Naomi?
Naomi,
She got
Naomi, right?
experience. I
She
disagree.
does have she has experience, but it's not the way they. Okay, let me clarify.
Hmm.
The way they put her into the storyline, she's not consistent enough. At some point in the match, you'll see her on the ground holding herself. She got hurt. Then you
Hmm.
won't see her for a little while, and then get up, and now you're doing another move.
Hmm.
I want to see like a flow. We were just talking about iyosky and Bayley. The match was consistent.
Right.
That's what I want to see from Naomi. I want to see beginning to end. I want to see a match like that.
Was the match inconsistent or was the storyline consistent? If the storyline was consistent, that's what made it a great match. Naomi's just coming back from her hiatus from WWE. They're still trying to figure out her place.
Maybe
And
that's it. Maybe
they
I'm
try to
reading
figure
into that part.
yeah, it's probably they try to figure out a place for her. But we're gonna talk about the bloodline later on, bro, because I don't know what's gonna happen with that bloodline. Who's run the bloodline? Is bloodline gonna be two factions? We don't know. So let's talk about let's wait for that later. But let's get to the match, the main event. Cody Rhodes versus Roman Reigns. My dog Roman Reigns. We have to acknowledge him, the third longest world heavyweight champion. Acknowledge that man. That man is the way he started. Talking about remember when he was on the mic said believe that. And I'm like, yo, this dude really can't talk on the mic. Now, now he's doing he's cutting promos like a freaking genius right now. The promo he did against Brock Lesnar. You must be confused, farm boy. This is my title. I'm gonna
He,
smash you at WrestleMania.
I'm gonna say he was working with Paul Heyman.
Yes, Paul Heyman's a genius, man.
I'm gonna I'm gonna say he must have they Paul Heyman must have got him under his wing, and he was talking to him on how to cut that promo, because Paul Heyman is the king of promo. He is the
Hmm.
king of promo. I don't care. I don't care what you feel about the man. I don't care what you say about the man from the beginning of WWE history, before he was even a part of it. He was behind the scene. He was promoting. He was on the camera. He did every aspect of promotion you could think of to the position he is right now. So fuck all the haters that's beyond Paul Heyman.
Hmm.
I love watching him because he's a part of that history. And you can
Hmm.
say also with the WCW, he had a hellified influence on
Hmm.
the goings on inside the ring and outside the ring.
Hmm.
Very strong force in wrestling, period,
Hmm.
and
And
outside of wrestling too. Because if I'm not mistaken, when he was doing promotion, he was uh, an influence on getting stars to where they needed to be. I don't have a
mhm.
list of them. I just know he was an influence as far as that. Remembering the documentary, but not remembering the key people. Not important. We're talking about wrestling right
Right.
now.
Well, this match was on the bloodline rules because Roman and Rock won the tag team match the night before.
Yes.
It was definitely a very riveting match. I love the storytelling in that match between both men, both Roman Reigns and Cody. The storytelling in that match. Roman Reigns hits the crossroads on Cody Rhodes.
Mhm.
Cody Rhodes hits it with a spear later on in the match. It
Mhm.
was the storytelling was great.
Mhm.
Then you had the bloodline rules in which Solosikoa comes in to
Mhm.
interfere in the match. And it was yelling at Roman, finish him, finish him. And they did that
Right.
spike and spear. And then you
Mhm.
see, guess who comes out? Guess who comes out running to the ring? First man
Mhm.
comes out. You can't see me. My time
No.
is now. John
Right.
Cena.
Cena.
Hustle,
He needs
loyalty,
to.
and respect.
He needs to.
He
He needs to work on that here.
No, you need to just go bald. Stop wearing the damn toupees. First
Right.
of all,
Stop doing
embrace
that.
embrace the baldness like Kurt Angle did. You know what I'm saying?
Embrace that, man. It's
Oh,
about that time, bro. Let the hair go. Nigga was combing his hair so much he was so it was messing up his wrestling. I'm telling you that right
oh
now.
my
I was like,
goodness!
this dude,
Oh my
if this
goodness!
dude don't leave his hair alone, you got a bald spot in the back of your head. Leave it alone,
Yo,
bro.
leave it.
We
Let
already
it
know.
go. Let it
Let
go,
it
man. It's
go.
okay. It would probably help his character too if he goes bald.
Yes.
You know what I'm saying? I'm dead
Yes.
serious. I'm dead serious. It will help his character.
It
But
would.
he comes in the ring, gets rid of Solosikoa.
Hmm.
But before that, I think didn't Jimmy come in? Jimmy Uso comes in originally to interfere in the match, and then he got to a
Okay, yeah.
little spat with his brother Jey Uso, which I felt their interference in the match
Hmm.
was a better performance than their own match at the night one, in my
Hmm.
opinion. It was better. It was a better performance.
Right.
That was the performance I expected from them in night one. We got
Right.
in night two, and they weren't even part of the match. They're the accessory to the match.
Right. But they don't need to be the main. They could be the accessory. This is the perfect part for that. Like I said, I really like that match anyway. So getting back
Mm-hmm.
to
Listen,
getting back to this main event.
listen. He spit his brother off the runway into some tables on the ground. I was like, all right, that's what I waited. That was what I was waiting for between the two of them.
Right.
That's what I was waiting for. But yet,
Some some harshness.
yes,
Let's get to that.
let's get to that shit.
I
But
get
now
I
we,
give you a kick. I give you a slap. You give me a slap. I give you a kick. You give me a kick.
but
Nah, that's not.
now when John Cena's in the ring, you
Hmm.
hear my nigga, my ninja, my boy,
Hmm.
the man I want to hang out with.
Right.
Well, just one night. You know what I'm saying? One night.
Right.
I'm not saying like go to dinner. Just hang out, just to listen to him talk and listen to him how
Right.
he moves. The
Right.
final boss,
The
The
final
Rock.
boss. Okay. Okay.
You know what I'm saying?
Now,
The
first
final
of all, let me
boss.
say this: as a heel,
Uh-huh.
undeniable. I love it. How you
Many
came
people.
into
Mm-hmm.
WWE,
Mm-hmm.
not a baby face. We didn't want to see you as a baby face. As a heel,
Mm-hmm.
that's your staple.
Mm-hmm.
As a staple, yeah,
Mm-hmm.
we love that. It's a good callback. Original character coming back to WWE. You added some things to that. We see it. I love
Mm-hmm.
it.
And I felt, and he was on TV every week.
Hmm. For
Put on the
promotion.
final boss.
Hmm. And Instagram, well, social media platforms, he was pushing that as well because we had
Yeah,
a lot of behind the scenes stuff happening that I think they're going to try to utilize a little bit more with the WWE just for extensions of Raw, SmackDown, and whatever event they're having. It's a good segue into using the social media for the next part of the media conglomerate for the WWE.
true that. True. Let's get back to the match, bro.
Hmm.
He ends up with John Cena. They do that look around. They look opposite each other, reminiscent of WrestleMania. I believe when Rock took on Hulk Hogan. Was WrestleMania
Right.
19? They did
Yes.
that. It was like the nostalgic to the crowd. This who
Yeah.
does that, and then all of a sudden Rock drops the rock bottom.
Hmm.
So Rock pulls out his belt. It's like he always put out Mama Rhodes. It's for you, Mama Rhodes.
Right.
And the person who we expected
Hmm.
did not show up. But
Right.
we got even good
But a better
interruption.
surprise. Yeah, it
Big
was a better
surprise.
surprise.
My other guy,
Hmm.
the
Hmm.
Undertaker,
Right.
comes in the ring. They went dark.
Right. It went
Heard the
dark.
boom, boom, and then boom. Him and the
He was
Rock.
there. Hmm.
Him and the Rock faced each other. And and the thing is, this is what these young wrestlers need to understand. Even though the expectation was for Stone Cold to be there, Rock
Right.
act as if the same way he would act if Stone Cold was there with
Right.
Undertaker. It was seamless.
Right.
I don't care what anybody says. I don't care if the fans are disappointed. That still was seamless transition.
Let me ask you this question because this has been going through my mind since this whole bloodline feud and
Mm-hmm.
everything like that with the roads. Now, Cody has another brother, Dustin.
Mm-hmm.
We know him as Gold Dust,
Mm-hmm.
and when he started, he was Stardust,
Mm-hmm.
right?
Mm-hmm.
I would love you could have even put Gold Dust in there somehow. You could have did it the same way, but Goldust could have been standing there looking at the Rock. I don't know if they've ever had a match together or that draw would have been the same, but as a member of the Rhodes family, as a senior in the Rhodes family, that would have been cool to me as a fan.
It made it that made ultimate made that's what made it more sensible. But due to the
Right.
fact that he's with AEW
Hmm.
and the WWE is a WWE event, they couldn't make that happen,
Right.
unfortunately. But they got a Texan in there, and nevertheless, they got a Texan in there. The
Hmm.
key was getting a Texan in there.
Right.
It wasn't a Texan that they wanted. It
Right.
wasn't a Texan that should have been there. But they got a Texan
Right.
in there.
Right.
And the
Down for the
Undertaker.
show. And I'm not mad at it because how many WrestleManias has the Taker been
A
in?
lot. You got to
He's
go.
been a lot. He's a staple.
Hmm. I just
You say
wish.
WrestleMania, you gotta see the Taker
Yeah.
somewhere.
Let me tell you something. If you want to make a bang out of this WrestleMania, you were talking about Goldust. He should have been in that storyline as soon as The Rock entered
Yes.
and he turned heel. That he should have been in that line on the opposite side of it too.
When Cody got slapped,
Mm-hmm.
that's when you should have seen Dustin.
Yeah.
Nah, this ain't going down like that. To me, it fit. It fit.
Mm-hmm.
But maybe it'll leave room for that because the fans need to stir it up a little bit more in order to get that momentum and draw him in. I don't know what he's doing on the ACW said, right?
AEW. AEW.
AEW. I don't know what he's doing on the AEW side, but maybe they can find a way to segue from there to bring him to the WWE.
But, but check it, bro. He was doing promos about that on Instagram and on YouTube.
I'm telling you, the
Goldust
story it
Dustin knows what the
fits.
fuck he's doing, but the fact of the situation, he couldn't be more involved.
Right,
And I think that was his way of saying, "Yo, let me be involved in the storyline." That's why he was doing
right,
that shit. He had to be part of it.
right.
He
You
had to
need to
be.
push. You need to push the Rock to promote for that because I'm
Yeah.
pretty sure they'll make it happen.
Mm-hmm.
And you can do
So,
it the same way the Rock does it most of the time. We don't gotta say like shut your mouth. Start off,
mm-hmm,
start off as usual banter, but
mm-hmm,
talking to Goldust,
yeah.
talking to him like shut your mouth.
Mm-hmm.
Go put on some paint or something.
You would have gotten a much more street credible Goldust than the
Right,
type shit. You would have got
right,
a street. You would have got a street Goldust. You were seeing probably Dustin in his natural character, but portraying Goldust at the
right.
same time without the paint.
Without the paint, you would have seen the
He,
jeans,
he
the
probably
the
had a
cowboy boots.
he probably had a
Call
gold
back
chain.
to his father.
Yeah,
Call back to his father.
he probably would have a gold chain,
Right. At most.
something like that. At that.
Right.
But it's a missed opportunity. I know Dustin would have loved
It
to be
was.
part of the storyline. I know him and Rock are close outside of the business. They're very close. So
Right.
it's not even it's like so missed opportunity to make some great money for Dustin.
Great.
He's probably kicking himself for that too.
I
But
mean, but we have people in position. I don't know how they feel about that certain things because even CM Punk coming back, there was a little bit of hesitation to bring him back into the roster until had a sit down conversation with certain key people
mm-hmm,
to get him back into the roster to feel him out and to see where his head's at before we put you back in here. We want to make sure that we can get along.
mm-hmm.
So
but
it's understandable. Go ahead.
but what an emotional win for Cody Rhodes. He hit Roman Reigns with finally for like the last three Cody cutters.
Hmm.
I mean, for the last three crossroads to put Roman away.
Hmm.
If you didn't notice, if people didn't notice, when Roman was getting pinned, a
Hmm.
certain angle caught Roman smiling while he was getting
Right.
pinned,
Right.
as if he was happy that Cody completed his story.
Right.
And his story as the bloodline, whatever, could take a little hiatus. Pardon me, ladies and gentlemen. Take a little hiatus now because
Yeah.
people don't understand what's going on with Joe Noe,
Right.
Joseph Onoe, Roman Reigns. This man's still battling leukemia. He's taking oral chemotherapy.
Right.
People complain about he's on TV all the time, but forget the fact that he suffered from leukemia, and who's still on
Because
his.
because we treat him like a WWE character in the game.
Mm-hmm.
As fans, there's certain parts that we forget. This is a person and not a video game character.
Mm-hmm.
We would love to see him 100% most of the time.
Mm-hmm.
We want to see them hit the crispness of the moves and everything like that. But this is a person. This is not a video game.
Mm-hmm.
Life does happen. Body is not 100%. Then you're gonna see that. It's
Mm-hmm.
gonna be evident.
Right.
So maybe it's a good time to give him time to recoup. Maybe get him back on his feet and then reintroduce him.
Maybe that's the reason why you haven't seen him on TV as consistently. You
Right.
know what I'm saying?
Maybe a good changing of the guard too.
Mm-hmm.
That we were about to get to that. I don't know if you're ready for that part, but you were talking about the bloodline. As far as that concerned, maybe it's a good segue into that part too.
We will get to that point, but we forgot to mention Seth Rollins also interfered in that match in his shield gear. And I hope once he comes back from injury, he'll Seth Rollins will go back to showing his shield persona than the flamboyant, the wild outfits he be wearing, looking like Macho Man
Right,
Randy Savage. You know
right.
what I'm saying? So
Yeah,
yeah, oh yeah, but
yeah.
yeah. But now, like I said, it was great. It was great cinema. This whole Bloodline story was great cinema for the past 2 years between him and Cody Rhodes.
Yes.
Climax, great climax to the. It's not the end to the story, ladies and gentlemen. It's just the beginning.
No, no,
It's
it's
just the
just the beginning.
beginning. And as we get into this, now we get to the story. Roman Reigns is no longer WWE champion. Um, where do we go from here for with Cody Rhodes? We already know that he's going to possibly face the winner of LA Knight and AJ Styles for the championship, possibly at Clash of the Castle, which is the
Right.
next premium live event.
Okay.
Where do you go from here? If you guys didn't watch SmackDown yesterday,
Mm.
Solo Sikoa is making moves to become a tribal chief. He brought another cousin, Tama Tonga, son of Haku. You know what I'm saying? They kicked out Jimmy Uso yesterday.
Oh man.
They kicked him out. They beat him up. Solo put his head in a chair and did the butt thing against the turnbuckle.
Right.
But I love how these guys say, "I love you, I
Right.
love you," and then they put you out.
Right.
They put you on the stretcher after that.
Right.
You know what I'm
It's
saying?
it's a part of the business. Like this is business.
It's
This ain't
business.
personal.
This is business. But what's going on with the bloodline? Is it going to be two factions? Is it setting up for The Rock to have one faction of the bloodline,
It could go
and then,
either
and then
direction.
Roman Reigns has a different section, line of bloodline? When you got the Usos, eventually the twins are going to come back together. This sets it up.
Yes.
This sets the twins to come back together. Then you're going to have Roman Reigns and the twins on one set of bloodlines. You got the final boss with the tribal chief and the new guy, Tama Tonga,
Right.
on the other side. There's so many, bro. If we were creative, there's so many
Hmm.
ways we could go with this right now.
Right.
I even go as far as you. I can even go as far as make it a three-way feud. You got the Bloodline versus
Right.
Bloodline, and you bring in Bobby Lashley's crew into it to
Right.
make it special. And you got Cody.
Right.
Everybody's vying to get Cody in the middle.
Right.
Run that shit for a year. I guarantee you. The Triple H, if you listen to me, Shawn Michaels, if you listen to me, you guys can make a lot of money for the next year if you do it that way.
Right. A good build.
Good build.
Good
And then,
good build, good draw.
correct. And then on the other end, the Raw, even they're going to do a draft again. I don't know why.
Okay.
They're going to do another draft. They're going to do a new draft, SmackDown and Raw. They do all that new shit
Okay.
again. So on the other end, now you got to get Gunther and Imperium in a feud with the Judgment Day,
Mhm.
Damian Priest situation. That's
Mhm.
unresolved. That's unresolved.
Okay.
Um, you got to incorporate Drew McIntyre in that feud with Damian Priest too.
Right.
You got Trinity. Both shows have trinities of feuds amongst the three
Right.
that you could run with. You can make a lot of money. You can't just focus on two particular people and run that for a whole year. It does get boring, but if you bring in a third party into it
Mhm.
to disrupt everything,
Right.
I think you have the opportunity to make a lot of money.
Because that extra person provides a wiggle room for chaos.
Mm-hmm.
It it provides because they could go either way. Like
Mm-hmm.
I think it was AJ. Yeah, AJ Styles.
Mm-hmm.
AJ Styles slapped the hell out of somebody he was on the team with, and I was just like,
LA
that's the
Knight.
chaos. Yeah.
LA Knight.
It's like I don't care about none of y'all. Listen, but that's the chaos factor. You need that.
Mm-hmm.
That's like a Randy Orton with Kevin Owens.
Mm-hmm.
Randy Orton with Kevin Owens almost doing his finisher on Kevin Owens, and Kevin was like, "What are you doing?
Mm-hmm.
You want to do this right now?"
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
So
but I agree
mhm.
with you on that.
Now, but what it is too now, you can't put Drew McIntyre back in the World Championship hunt without putting CM Punk in. Now, 'cause, they're set up to go at it at SummerSlam.
Okay.
I believe so. Drew McIntyre and CM Punk at SummerSlam, right before the main event, whichever main event is going to be at SummerSlam. I believe that's the way it is going right now. If CM Punk can
Mhm.
stay healthy, that will be the
Right.
match. The winner of that match will face Damian Priest, and I can see a 6 to 9 month run of Damian Priest as world champion. I don't want it. Let's give him a full year. As long as
Gotcha.
Rhea has a championship, he should have the championship. In my opinion, keep Judgment Day strong.
Okay.
That's where I would do it. Elevate Judgment Day to a status now. If you want to do a crossover feud with the Bloodline, whichever Bloodline is still standing, you can make it happen to reunify the belts again.
Okay.
However you want to do it, because I believe that Cody's only going to lose the title to another Bloodline member. It may be Roman Reigns, but it could be Solo Sokoa. I think Solo Sokoa's time is now.
Okay.
I believe his time is now. They held him back enough, and now is his time to officially elevate to main event status.
Right. And in tradition, as far as storytelling, we've seen glimpses of him, and we're kind of overlooking him. So it would
Mm-hmm.
make sense for him to appear dominant
Mm-hmm.
at a point. Yeah, I could see it.
So right now, I can see it going. I can see this going. For right now, what I'm seeing, what I saw from SmackDown, I see the Usos coming back together, the twins coming back together, and in a tag team match, take on Solo and Tamatanga.
Okay.
I can see that happening. Excuse me.
Mhm.
I can see that happening. As far as the women's side of the fence is, this is what Bayley's situation is all setting up for. I keep telling people it sets up Bianca Belair for a heel turn. I think they're gonna do it that way. So when Jade is ready to make that run as world championship, she's gonna be Bianca Belair for the title. That's the way I
Right.
feel they're gonna go.
Right.
They're gonna do the little tag team thing together. They beat
Hmm.
Chelsea and Piper yesterday at SmackDown. I can see them
Okay.
doing it for a little bit and then turn Bianca heel,
Right.
and then she beats Bayley for the championship, and then boom, you set up WrestleMania 42, Jade versus Bianca Belair.
Right.
You set it up
I can see it.
because they can't. I would not recommend doing it on 41. It's too soon. It's too soon
Hmm.
for Jade. It's too soon. You need that build up. You need that good. You get that good. You need that good 9 month story build up. Have a win. Have 9 month build up. Have a win Royal Rumble, and then take on Bianca in WrestleMania 42, not 41.
Okay.
That's the way I would. That's the way I would do it.
Okay. Okay.
The thing is that you can't give the fans all. You can't give the fans all everything they want. I'm sorry. You can't give them everything they want.
No, but we as fans we want a great story regardless.
Mm-hmm.
If we don't get what we want to see a good show.
Mm-hmm.
Period. Give me a good show. I can forget about what I didn't get out of this.
Mm-hmm.
I can forget about that. But if it was a good show, I'm gonna be content with that. Like that's my
Right.
meal. Give me a good
Mm-hmm.
meal. I'm gonna be, but don't give me a snack. Don't do that.
Mm-hmm.
And tell me it's a meal. Don't do that. Not with the stories.
There you go. There you go. So we got now the first challenge now for these new world champions.
Mm.
It's already been determined on Damian Priest's side. He's going to face Jey Uso, main event Jey for the world title.
Ooh, so
Yeet,
yeet.
yeet down. You know what I'm
Right.
saying? And then Cody, we're just gonna wait for another the winner between LA Knight and AJ Styles. I hope it's gonna be AJ Styles because I think AJ Styles will command more money and more exciting match,
Right.
in my
Yeah,
opinion.
he's a very intense wrestler. Like
Hmm.
he knows how to turn it on. He knows how to turn it off.
Hmm.
He's a well balanced wrestler. I could say that.
True.
Well balanced. Um, Promo wise, he doesn't really have to do that. Like his present, he has a good presence. Kind of
Hmm.
like The Rock. Like he doesn't. He could go in front of the camera. You don't really have to say nothing, and
Hmm.
you still get a reaction. That's the type of superstar you're looking for, and those are the type you want to see in the storylines more.
Hmm.
You want to see them in the storylines more.
Nah, that no, bro. This is a question I had. This is the question I have for the fans. If you see in the description of the podcast, there's about 5 questions that I asked the fans.
Hmm.
You know, I want you guys to legitimately send me the answers to my email, truplayazpodcast@gmail.com, as you see the podcast being spelled.
Hmm.
Um, Question number 1: does CM Punk's attack on Drew McIntyre set up their match for either Clash of the Castle or SummerSlam?
Hmm.
With Damian Priest winning the World Heavyweight Championship, will it lead to a rivalry between him and Gunther, which basically will
Hmm.
be Imperium versus Judgment Day?
Right.
With Bayley winning the Women's World Championship, will it lead to the eventual heel turn for Bianca Belair?
Mm.
And the final question, which I think we already have the answer to that. What's next for LA Knight, AJ Styles, Kevin Owens, and Randy Orton? What's next for them?
Mm. The way you have lined up in the question, I'm going to say that LA Knight and AJ Styles should have their own match. Kevin Owens and Randy Orton should, at some point, get a match together or mix it up somehow.
You see, the problem is the beautiful part is what in the Attitude Era and the Ruthless Aggression. No, mostly Attitude Era. You had four main event guys. You actually had five. You had The Rock, Stone Cold, Triple H, Kurt Angle, and Shawn Michaels.
Right.
If you can find that magic right by keeping all of them in the main event status, You could do it here.
Yes.
You could do it here with Kevin Owens and Randy Orton and AJ Styles and LA Knight,
Right.
and then you got Cody.
Right. Why not?
You could do that. It provides
It
longevity to Cody's. It provides a legitimacy to Cody's run as
yes,
champion.
it does. It does. And not for nothing, having that many superstars on the lineup, it'll draw more fans in. They're
Mm-hmm.
investing. I want to see what he's gonna do. Oh yeah, this guy too.
Mm-hmm.
That type of feel.
Bobby Lashley got to be included too.
Put Bobby Lashley in there, man. He's way overdue for that. He's got to shine, man. At
He's
this
been a
point,
champion. He's been a champion. He lost the
he's
championship because he had a legitimate injury during the match.
don't
That's how he
treat this
lost
like
it.
don't treat this like MMA. Don't be a
No,
Dana White on the shit. Don't be a
no.
Dana White on the shit. Um, put him back in there somehow.
Mm-hmm.
He's proven that he wants to continue.
Mm-hmm.
Give him his just due. Let's get him back up into that status where he needs to be.
Bro.
Hmm.
One match I would like to see, even though we're talking about Logan Paul. I want to see a Logan. I want to see a Logan Paul versus Montez Ford match.
Tense forward.
Street Profits,
Okay.
Bianca's husband.
Okay.
I want to see a
Oh.
match between them two for the U.S. Championship.
Okay.
I want to see that match.
Okay.
Triple H, you listening? I'm about to tag Triple H on this damn podcast, man. You gotta watch my podcast. You gotta listen to it, my brother. But Triple H doing a hell of a job with the creative, doing a great
Yeah.
job. You know, we
Him.
just throw it out. We just throw out ideas because we're just big fans of WWE.
Always. Uh, before they put the letters on there, we were
Mhm.
watching.
Yeah, back when it was WWF.
Right.
For whatever dumb reason, they had to change it because of the World Wildlife Federation nonsense.
Yeah.
Whatever.
And
Y'all
before that, because I was
don't-
watching Superstars of Wrestling. The Superstars of Wrestling. I remember back in the day.
But yeah, you make the WWE change their name, but yeah, we haven't heard nothing to World Wildlife Federation in like over 20 years. Okay,
Right.
whatever.
Make it make sense.
Make it make sense to me. Yes, yes. But definitely on that note, bro, we're gonna sign off on this podcast, my brother. This is once
All
again it's a
right. All
pleasure
right.
having you on the show. A lot of big podcasts. I know I made an announcement that we're gonna have our first Wednesday podcast in April. I may have to push it into May to officially be on May Wednesday nights. But that doesn't mean that we can't have a podcast on any other day. But
Right.
the main idea is to have it on a Wednesday night, every Wednesday night. You know, the
Okay.
baseball season is 162 games, so I got to find a way to cover that too. After every 3 game or 4 game series with the Mets, I got to find a way to cover it and give you guys my
Right.
perspective on the series. Um,
Mm.
the NBA playoff basketball is about to start next week.
Mm.
Knicks are Knicks are 1 win away,
Right.
I believe. I think the Bucks still won though, so I think the Bucks possibly clinched the number 2 seed. But if they lost last night, the Knicks will be one win away and one Buck loss away from being the number 2 seed in the NBA playoffs, Eastern Conference. Okay, but for right now, they got to clinch number 3. They have to win
Right.
against the Bulls tomorrow,
Mm.
and I'll decide whether or not I will jump on another podcast again after that game and just give you guys my perspective before bringing back Matthew back on Wednesday night.
Right.
So,
It's great. It's man. I've been very I'm gonna say this real quick because I know we're talking about the WWE, but in
yeah.
watching the Nick games as a fan since the Jordan era, um, and now coming back for this next season, um, I'm very impressed.
Hmm.
Very impressed, and what I've seen with them this year. I've been more involved with the games this year than I have in many years,
Hmm.
and that's a testament to the dynamic of the team and just watching them play.
True.
I'm looking forward to the playoffs and seeing what happens.
I love the way they're playing.
Yeah.
Um, I hope it gets to Eastern Conference Finals,
Hmm.
but not having Julius Randle for the rest of the season does hurt. It makes it a
It
little bit
does.
more difficult. It makes it difficult.
It makes it difficult. We have to utilize the players that we have on the field and not be held to just one individual.
Hmm.
Not be held to one individual. If one person is having an off day, find other ways to make the plays happen.
Right.
Pass the ball, circulate the ball, make the shots, and we'll call it a day. Because I know we could get the win. Y'all have
Hmm.
proven it with or without their MVP. They can make the thing happen. They just have to work together as a team to make it
Right.
happen.
True.
Just stop relying on a person. If you're missing a shot, it's your off day. Chuck it up as a loss. Pass the ball,
Hmm.
rebound, assist, do all of that.
Facts.
That's where I am with it. As I said,
Hmm.
I'm enjoying the season, but those are my key things that I've been watching, and I'm like, I get frustrated with that part of it, the more technical part of the game, with the Knicks. But I look forward to see what they got what they do in the playoffs.
Gotcha, bro. On that note, you can definitely catch us on YouTube at True Players Podcast, at Patreon, True Players Podcast. Remember, subscribe to the channel. I need more followers. Subscribe to the channel.
Make the dream work.
Make the dream work and all that and then some. We got more plans with the podcast. We got Joey G, Big Convo and Family. Definitely, he's gonna come out with his next first episode officially. And we
Yep.
get our subsidiaries, our other podcasts up and rolling. Definitely,
Yep.
we spin off to the True Players podcast where we get more interview style. Definitely, we're working on everything to give you guys the proper coverage, proper delivery that we want to give to our fans out there. It's not with us. It's not about who's first. It's about who gives the correct information, and that's where we got to change the way of media. We got to
Right.
be the first, not just the first, but give the first correct information. And
Right.
if we give the wrong information, we'll be bold enough to come back on and say, my bad, we didn't get the full
Right.
info, and we move on from there. It's not about
Right.
just putting out lies on the internet. We're not going to do
No,
that. We're
I'm
not.
not.
We're
I
not.
don't. I'm not
Mhm.
with that. I'm not with that. I don't want to put out false information, and I'm not trying to build a narrative and get you to believe one side of the information, whether you're a pro or whether you're a non-supporter. I just want to give you the information from a standpoint of being in the middle, seeing both sides of the scenarios, and giving the information for you to make a smart, intelligent, and reasonable decision on what side you want to back.
On that note, this True Players podcast, as always, even though we never mentioned before, has been brought to you by Duthel Productions and Entertainment.
Hmm.
So me and Joji will sign off on this podcast. We will see y'all on the next episode. Stay
Yes,
tuned for the
sir.
next one. Peace.